Lineup Tuesday. Look forward to Week 6 Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a great day. We have some MLB action going on right now. There's another game after this. We will talk about both of those. Right now, looking pretty good for the Astros, which was a bet that we liked. We did like the Astros to cover today. We'll see if that one holds on. If you guys, again, want all of my plays, you know where to go. Go to the SHARPZ app. Butt Fumble Sports is giving out all of our plays every single day there. As always, you guys can find us across all of our platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick, as well as Instagram and Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days. Appreciate all those that are with us, no matter the platform. It's so wonderful to have this community with us every day. We are live at 5 p.m. Eastern every weekday, 10 a.m. Eastern every weekend. Hope you guys love the content. Love hearing from you guys. If you guys ever want to provide feedback, buttfumblesports.com. You can hit us up there or email us feedback@buttfumblesports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you're watching over on TikTok, welcome into the show. It's great to see you every single day. Those loyal viewers over there on TikTok, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe. SHARPZ is where you can find all of my bets every single day. We'll be giving out picks throughout the show for the MLB game, for some NFL later this week. We'll do some player prop bet research. This is going to be a research-heavy show, guys, so if you guys have questions, here to help you guys out. It's not going to be a rapid-fire show like we do maybe on a game day. It's going to be more research, more opportunities for us kind of crunch the numbers on some of the bets that you guys like, some of the fantasy matchups you like. So we'll be taking it a bit slower, answering some questions with a bit of a deeper dive, but we will be giving out picks for today's game and for some of the games this week. Appreciate all of you guys being with us every day. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to start with some questions off of YouTube right now, off of TikTok right now, but we will get to YouTube, Twitch, and Kick in just a moment. Marius, Steelers need to fire Matt Canada. Should have happened a while ago. But unfortunately, it seems like Mike Tomlin is incredibly loyal to his guys, so it's not happening so far. Diego, do I start A.J. Brown or Christian Kirk this week? I'm not as high on A.J. Brown this week going up against Sauce Gardner and the Jets. I lean towards Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk's matchup this week is more in his favor. Jacksonville playing the Colts. Colts have been a bad pass defense. So, Diego, even though I think A.J. Brown could still get some good fantasy production for you, Kirk's actually the better play. Appreciate the question, Diego. Nick Fisher, Adams for Henry and Lamb. I do like that. Nick Fisher, I do like that trade. Is Addison a start this week? Colin Daughtry, yes, he is. I do think the matchup is really favorable for Kirk Cousins and Jordan Addison this week. It's too bad that Justin Jefferson isn't there, because this is one of those weeks in which the Minnesota Vikings pass offense would be really lighting up the scoreboard. So Minnesota plays the Bears in Chicago. We've seen that Bears defense give up a lot of points. JoJo, Evans for Derrick Henry. If you need the running back, JoJo, I do value the running back, even though Derrick Henry hasn't been the best version of himself. Could be just me, but stream is kind of choppy on Twitch. Rod Pena, I appreciate you letting us know. Thanks so much. I'll look into it as best we can. We're going to probably power through this show, but I'll look into it after. But thank you so much for letting us know. Appreciate all of you guys watching across YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick. Make sure you hit that follow button no matter where you're watching. Dev, Pollard, Ertz, and Ayuk for Travis Kelce. Absolutely not, especially given the injury that he has. I don't think that's one that's easily going to go away. Oh, it's looking fine now. Thanks so much, Rod. Thanks for letting us know. What to do with Justin Jefferson? If you can trade him, try to. I think Justin Jefferson is pretty much done. In terms of fantasy value, there might be a few weeks in the future, but why would the Minnesota Vikings put him at risk for the rest of the season? I would expect him to go on IR. Trade for Waddle, Jordan. I absolutely love that. Waddle is a player worth owning. Trade Keenan Allen and Pierce for Cooper Kupp. Very interesting one. Very interesting. Chris B hit a 6-leg parlay thanks to us. Chris B, I know that's because you're following all of our bets on the SHARPZ app. You can follow every bet that I make every single day on the SHARPZ app. So if you want every pick that I make, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Just DM me there. So great that we were able to put some cash in your pocket, Chris B. Really appreciate your support. Happy we were able to do that for you. Thanks so much for supporting the show. Nosebleed Fantasy. Thielen and Hawkinson for Henry and CeeDee Lamb. Nosebleed Fantasy, if you can get Henry and Lamb off of Thielen. I know Thielen's off to an amazing start, but I do like the two players you're getting. So I do think there's value there. Nice job. Nosebleed Fantasy, I do like the trade. Thanks for the question. Dean Kramer, over 5.5 strikeouts. I told you guys we would be doing some research today, so let's dive into it. If you guys were following me on the SHARPZ app, you'd already know that one of my favorite bets today was the Astros to cover. Nice. Dean Kramer, you look at across the board, a lot of green on the screen if you're watching on YouTube and Twitch. If you're watching on TikTok, Dean Kramer has gone over 3.5 strikeouts in 8 of his last 10 games. However, in only 2 of his last 4. So it has not been as good a trend down the stretch in September. Just of note, head-to-head, 3 straight times, though, against Texas, he's gone over. So he struck out at least 3.5 batters against Texas in 3 straight meetings. 1 this year, 1 last year, 1 start in 2021. Interesting that the trend rides that way. So Dean Kramer is actually a good play on over 3.5 strikeouts to answer that question. A lot of green up on the screen, over 3.5 strikeouts. Texas, looking at how they've done against him. There are a few guys, though, who have pretty good numbers against him. Semien, Seager, Garver, Jonah Heim. That said, some strikeout numbers as well. Garcia, Heim, Young. So, I think it's a bit of a split decision, but the trends lean towards it being, yes, a good decision. Not going to put it up on my board, but interesting one for you guys to consider. Appreciate you guys being with us. AJ, would you trade Henry and Pickens for Austin Eckler? I'm kind of worried. It's because we haven't seen Austin Eckler in a while. I'm a little bit worried about him, so I wouldn't be as quick on it. Nosebleed Fantasy got offered Pacheco, Thielen, Lamb for Adams and Bijan and Brian Robinson Jr. I'd rather have Pacheco, Thielen, and Lamb. Thanks for the question. Jackson traded Kyren for Etienne. Is that a win? I think so, but Kyren's just going to get a lot of carries. He's not just the primary back. He's the only real running back for that Rams offense. So the weeks in which they face a bad run defense, he's going to clean up. But Etienne week to week is the more consistent play. Jackson, thanks for the question. Would you do Adam Thielen for Amari Cooper? The answer is yes, I would. I don't know how long this Thielen ride can possibly last. The Carolina Panthers play the Miami Dolphins this week. They're not a great pass defense either, so there may still be value out of him. But right now, I trade Thielen. His value is just incredibly high, given what his season-long projection was. Jalen Guzman, should I trade Henry for Olave and Jones? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Do I trade Higgins for DeAndre Hopkins? I have Chase. D-Hop's going to have his weeks where he eats, but it's really about the defense that he plays against, so it's very week-to-week based. I think I'd rather have Higgins when he's healthy, but Mason Christ, pick 2 for this week. I'd go Flowers. I would go Flowers, and I'd probably go Devontae Smith. I'd go Flowers and Devontae Smith. Nico Collins has a tough matchup against the Saints. Jay Money, I don't have a running back too. Since Connors went on the IR. Yeah, you're going to go have to spend some money out there on the waiver wire. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. How do you feel about Alvin Kamara? Think he's going to have really good production throughout the second half of the year. I traded Christian Kirk and Cooper for CD and Madison. Full PPR thoughts. You really traded Christian Kirk and Amari Cooper for CD Lamb. That was really the trade. Madison was just a little bit of icing to make it feel like a two for two deal, but it really wasn't. So I'm not crazy about it because I think you probably gave up a little bit too much value. I would have asked for more than Madison. Cooper Kupp or Keenan Allen rest of season. I'm going to probably lean towards Cooper Kupp. I think Keenan Allen's going to get so much attention. I actually think Cooper Kupp's going to benefit from Puka Nacua being such a good option in that passing offense as well. Help, please. I'm 2-3. My team is Lamar, Pollard, Madison. Like I said, Madison is not worth putting in your roster right now. Jones, Diggs, Devontae Ayuk, and Ertz. What should I do? I'm telling you, Madison is not worth rostering right now, guys. His production's going down, his carries are going down, and that offense is now even less dynamic without Justin Jefferson. It means that the defenses are now less committed to that passing game, are more committed to not just the stopping of the running game, but applying pressure in Kirk Cousins' face, loading the box. So I lean away from Madison. Ryan, Ridley, or Mike Evans for this upcoming week? I'd go Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley going up against that Colts defense. Big opportunity there. Breyer, Moss, or JT? I mean, I'm going to lean towards JT. I think JT, it depends what the snap count is, but I think JT week by week, that production's going to go up. So I like the idea of him week 2 being a little bit better than he was week 1. Which one do you think is... And by the way, I don't think Zach Moss is going to duplicate what we just saw. Will the Orioles bounce back to win the series? Boy, would I like to believe it, but no, I don't think so. And the reason is I don't think they have the pitching, and I don't think they have the experience. And the combination of not having the pitching and the experience, I actually think is enough to stop a good offensive roster. Sometimes we see great rosters, but there's usually like an old veteran, an old crafty ace, someone who's been there before to lead them through. The Orioles don't really have that. Perfect example tonight, they're going up against Nathan Eovaldi, who is an established big game postseason pitcher. I think that's a tough matchup for them. They could score some runs, but for me, it's all about who gets out to the early lead. The Rangers-Orioles series, if you get out to a big enough lead, that other team, they can score 5-6 runs, but it's not enough when you're putting up 9-10 runs. So which one do you think is going to be better for the rest of the season, Watson or Puka? I think it's going to be Puka. Believe it or not, I just have more and more faith that we're seeing that the Rams passing game is what it was a few years ago. This is something I will call myself out on absolutely. The Rams are a much better team than I expected because when Stafford is healthy, the way in which he manages and operates Sean McVay's offense is elite. It's fantastic. The timing of it is brilliant. And so even if Matt Stafford is older, even if their weapons across the board, their O-line isn't as good, whatever, when he has Stafford and Cooper Kupp healthy, add Puka Nacua, all of a sudden, this offense, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, we are live every single day, every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you love the content, if you love the conversation, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe because we are live every single day across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Cam on sticks. Olave and Thielen for Cooper Kupp. Oof. It's close. It's very close. I almost think it's a fair trade. Frozen, don't worry. We're here. We're still here. Let's get back to some of these questions, though. Should I look to trade Barkley or trust him when he comes back to that offense? Here's the concern. Evan Neal, the offensive line of the Giants, looks like a mess. So I'll trust Barkley maybe for a start. I kind of want to see him come back to see if that creates any kind of hope because there aren't too many running backs that I can get at this point in the year that at least have the upside that Barkley does. So I'm not quick to trade Barkley right now. If you can get a really good deal for him that includes a running back, I'd do it. But I'd probably wait on a week, but I am skeptical more because the offensive line of the Giants is garbage. What should I trade? What should I trade CD away for? Well, if you already have wide receivers, then go get a running back. Or otherwise, I don't really like swapping out a top wide receiver for a top wide receiver. It just feels like a lot of moving of pieces that don't necessarily get you anywhere. So, should I do Christian Watson and Jonathan Taylor for Keenan Allen? No, I would not do that. What do I do with Justin Jefferson? Stephen Cook, I would try to trade him. I know people are going to hate hearing this. If you're in a dynasty league, doesn't apply to you. But if you are in a standard league, a season-long, this one-year league, a redraft league, you got to trade him. Because I don't think there's value, really. The Vikings are so far out of contention, and it's only going to get worse. Even if they steal a couple of wins, why would they risk the long-term health of Justin Jefferson unless they're planning on letting him go? And I wouldn't understand that. So I think Justin Jefferson is a player worth trading. I don't know what you get for him right now, but it's better to have someone who's producing points than someone who is literally on the IR. Who do I trade for trying to get rid of Jacobs and Hopkins? I get that. I have Allen. You could probably package those two for a pretty good combination of players or one really good player. So I actually think that's a good duo to try to move on from. I have James Conner and Achan. What do I do? You commiserate by talking to Butt Fumble Sports, and we try to absolvote you of all of the sins that your fantasy team is currently suffering. But the truth of the matter is, you go to the waiver wire, maybe you make a trade. There's not much you can do. I get Hill and Montgomery. I give up Pollard. Yes, I would do that trade. Yes, I would do that trade. Start 2, Ridley, Flowers, Ayuk. I would start, forgive me, I got to check the schedule real quick. I would start Flowers for sure. Flowers would be 1. Ridley would be 2. Those would be the 2. Ayuk has a tough matchup going up against the Browns. Best pass defense so far in the NFL. Jeff Peters. Should I drop Connor or trade for... Yeah. Is James Conner going to be viable the rest of the season? He's another one. To me, it's about the teams that are on the edge of contention. Maybe they bring back some of these players and try to get something out of them. But I'd be really concerned that no, he's not going to have real value. And by the time he comes back in the season, if you're still playing fantasy and you really need his production, you're probably in the playoffs, which means you don't want to be banking on someone that has questionable value. That's actually part of my thinking right now, is say he does come back in 6-7 weeks. That's around the time. I know it's crazy to think, but you're already heading into like the home stretch of your season. Whether it may not be playoffs for you, but it's on the fringes of it. You're going to need every win. So you can't necessarily start someone coming off the IR who's just questionable. So if you can move on from some of these guys, the James Connors of the world, the Justin Jeffersons of the world, I'd actually make the trades because at this point, the value that they offer is not worth it. You need to be getting wins now. You need points coming off your roster now. And if they came back later in the year, the risk is almost too great given the moment, the time in the season. Sal, I look towards Edwards. I'd look towards Edwards right now. I still think there's value there in that running game. The problem is not this week. Interestingly enough, they all three have bad matchups this week in the running game. Let's get back to some questions. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. If you're watching on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, make sure you guys hit that follow button. Make sure you're a member of this great community that's talking sports every day. Hold Kincaid. Absolutely. I'm not giving up on Kincaid just yet. No. Gorko, start this week. Puka, ASB, Kenneth Walker. Great question. So I really like Puka this week. I'm really high on him. Amon-Ra St. Brown I like, but he's coming off the injury, so maybe I'm a little bit more hesitant there. And as for the Seahawks, they're playing the Bengals. I love Kenneth Walker this week. So Gorko, for me, Walker's probably the number 1 player I like out of that group. Puka, number 2. St. Brown, number 3. But really, I think you got 3 good players worth starting. I really like Walker and Puka. They would probably be the top 2 out of that group. Thanks for the question, Gorko. Thoughts on Pacheco this week? AntCan111's asking that one. Everybody who owns Pacheco, this is a great week for you. But I also want to shout out everybody who kind of likes putting some money on some player props. Isaiah Pacheco. I love Isaiah Pacheco. I'm going to put this one up on the board. This is a player prop bet I really like. Isaiah Pacheco over half a touchdown. Now, there are a bunch of player prop bets that I really like as well involving him, but he is facing the Denver Broncos defense. He's at home. There's probably no Travis Kelce because of the short week. So many reasons to like Isaiah Pacheco in this game. They're going to be relying on him a lot. In the red zone especially, Pacheco. Love him in fantasy, love him in player props, and I've just put that one up on my big board. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, that's up on the screen. Isaiah Pacheco over half a touchdown. And by the way, guys, I give out every bet that I make every single day for free. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. I give out every pick that I make every single day. I've connected my sports book. You guys can connect your sports book so you can see the bets that I make. Like Chris B mentioned earlier, he liked a parlay that I did. You can literally hit the tail button and literally it recreates the parlay that I created in your sports book. So it's an easy way for you guys to tail. Or if you don't like them, you can rag on my picks. I know we've got a lot of haters out there and a lot of people who are like, that pick sucks. That pick will never cash. That's cool too. I love the haters, and you can hit me up on there. I'm there all the time. So if you guys want it, DM me on Instagram. Great opportunity for you guys to follow every bet that I make every single day, and obviously interact with me off the air. Brecken, should I trade JT for Keenan Allen? It's a great trade given the upside on value, but given that you have running backs, can you ever have enough running backs? I'd rather probably trade Henry than JT, believe it or not. It's kind of close, though. I understand you got to upgrade at the wide receiver position, so I do get it. I do get it, Brecken. I'd be okay with it. I might want to trade Henry, though. I actually think from this point on, there may be greater upside in Jonathan Taylor, believe it or not. Jake, pick 2, Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Puka, Nakua, Nico Collins, Amari Cooper. Okay, so guys, CeeDee Lamb is another player that I absolutely love this week. CeeDee Lamb is facing the Chargers. The Chargers are one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. You want to know how bad they are? They are the worst pass defense in the NFL. They've allowed just under 300 passing yards per game. This defense is going to be the elixir, the cure for what the Cowboys offense needs, given, facing the 49ers the other night. Love CeeDee Lamb this week. CeeDee Lamb this week is a great play. I would even consider this one on a player prop bet. CeeDee Lamb, definitely over 50 plus receiving yards. Like that one, I'm just going to put in a bunch of parlays. I'm putting it up on my screen so you guys can see it. But that's what I'm going to do. CeeDee Lamb, over 50 receiving yards, and put that into some parlays. He's going to cash on that. I think he'll probably get over on receptions as well. But he has a fabulous matchup against the Chargers. I'm going to believe in that one hard come Monday night. So that's another one. If you got CeeDee Lamb, get him in your lineup. Chris B, what's good? Madison or Mixon or Mostert or Roshan or... I like how he just rattled off the ors just there. If we're looking at the schedule really quick, you got to notice that the Miami Dolphins are going up against the Carolina Panthers. That is a great opportunity. We saw it last week. Montgomery absolutely rolled against that Carolina Panthers defense. I'll say the same here. Raheem Mostert. I'm putting this one up on my screen. Over 50 plus rushing yards. Over 50 plus rushing yards. These are some of the player prop bets. These aren't out yet or official lines. This is me probably looking at, obviously, the alternative lines because they're over 50. But Raheem Mostert, I like him to have a good game, so he would definitely be one of them. And the second one would probably be Roshan Johnson. It's close. I'll probably say Mixon, but it's close. There isn't a second one that stands out, Crispy, that I like as much. Kenneth Walker for CeeDee Lamb. That's a fine trade. I'd be okay with it. Who should I trade Christian McCaffrey for? Why would you trade Christian McCaffrey? Most valuable player in the entire sport. I wouldn't move on from him right now. Diego, Devontae Adams for Tony Pollard. I'm okay with it. And there's a couple reasons why. I think you saw last night the reasons why I'd be okay trading Devontae Adams. Jimmy G. He is either broken or he doesn't play the way he needs to with a superstar wide receiver out there. I watched Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show today, and you just heard Aaron Rodgers talk about there are times you just have to feed Devontae Adams the ball. You just have to feed your star wide receiver the ball. He may be covered, doesn't matter. Throw it to him in coverage, challenge it, put in a spot only he can get it, and either he does or you at least get him engaged in the game. You need to get him involved. You need to make him active. Jimmy G doesn't do that enough. We saw last night he is less likely to throw into traffic because he is scared. Jimmy G is scared of the repercussions. And funny enough, it probably leads to more interceptions. But I'm not as high on Devontae Adams as I am on other players. So, something to consider. Devontae Smith for Breece Hall. Okay, Breece Hall showed an amazing amount of talent last week. He's clearly back to being healthy. But here's my concern. The offensive line of the Jets is getting weaker and weaker, worse and worse with the injuries. So I kind of like Devontae Smith more. I know his value's been ticking down over the last few weeks. I think part of that actually has to do with DeAndre Swift having a really good start to the year. But I'm going to believe that Devontae Smith's probably better to have over the course of the season. By the way, guys, I just saw some breaking news. Looks like Austin Eckler will be back this week. It is looking like Austin Eckler will be back. My friend sent me Etienne and Amon-Ra St. Brown for Pollard, Smith, and Hunter Henry. If it's Devontae Smith, I like the Pollard, Devontae Smith, and Hunter Henry side. Chris Godwin or Zay Flowers rest of season. I still probably say Zay Flowers, believe it or not. Sal, how do you tail on the Sharps play? So if you have your sportsbook connected, I use DraftKings. That's the sportsbook that I use a lot. So anyways, if you have DraftKings and you connect it to Sharps, if I put out a bet, you can literally, there's a little whale's tail, and you can tail the bet. Every bet that I make, it'll go to your DraftKings with the exact bet that I make. So that's how you guys can tail. Appreciate you guys being with us. Make sure that you guys are hitting that follow button. We are live every single day. DK or Hollywood Brown. I got to go DK on this one. I got to go DK over Hollywood Brown for this upcoming week. I have Connor. What do I do? I'd move on from him. If you can trade him, I would. If there's someone who'd be willing to kind of take that perspective value, but I don't think he's got a lot of value moving forward. Pollard and Jacobs for Kupp and Aaron Jones. I think I'd rather have Pollard and Jacobs. It's very close, though. It's very close. I'm starting Pacheco at the flex. Oh, I love that. No, you've got a great lineup this week, Ancan. Good lineup this week. Raymond Michael, trade Mostert and Waller for Mahomes. No. Absolutely not. Look, I understand you only have Stroud now, but I think you are giving up way too much value. I know Mostert and Waller. You're giving up way too much value for Mahomes, I think. So, I wouldn't do it. Xander, trade away Puka for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I actually think it's an interesting trade. I probably lean towards saying yes, only because you're getting the wide receiver one, but I think Puka's shown already more durability. He's a tough dude. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a little bit injury prone. Bryson Reese, Bijan or Pollard or Jacobs rest of season, I'd go Pollard. Xander Simmons, I'd go... Ferguson or Logan Thomas rest of season is kind of interesting. It's a bit of a coin flip. I think Logan Thomas could end up being the better play, even though that's kind of a counterintuitive. You lean towards the Cowboy, but I think Logan Thomas is showing you he's going to be involved in this offense a lot. You know why in part that is? Just a thought that dawned on me. Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy loves using that tight end position. Logan Thomas is the better one, Xander, I think. Cole Mason traded Jones, Goddard, and Akers for Mixon. You gave up way too much. Gave up too much. Give Stevenson another shot this week against the Raiders, or bench him and start Palmer. Well, I wouldn't do that. Cowboys defense is good against the pass. Ignoring last week. I know last week is its own debacle. Appreciate you guys being with us every single day. Make sure you guys DM me on Instagram. If you guys want all of my bets, DM me on Instagram, ButtFumble Sports. We will give you a referral code and a link so you can follow every bet that I make every single day. That way you can follow every pick. LC, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk at the flex. I like both of them. You got to go DJ Moore this week, though. Against that Vikings secondary, I will go with DJ Moore. DJ Moore. Should I trade Mostert? No. Mostert's value just skyrocketed with Achane getting injured, so no, I like Mostert. Austin, Goddard or Ertz this week? It's a great question. I probably lean slightly towards Ertz. Goddard has a tough matchup against the Jets, so I'll lean towards Ertz just slightly. Isaiah, pick 2. Olave, Metcalf, Puka, Godwin, or Addison. I'd go with Puka and Addison. Puka and Addison would be the 2 right now for me. Appreciate the question. Parker, what's happening? Hope you're enjoying the show. I needed a quarterback so bad that I traded Brees for Swift and Goff. I don't mind it because Swift is a great pick. I think it's a good trade. Thoughts on Addison? I think Addison is a start this week, guys. I think Jordan Addison is worth the start this week. Appreciate you guys being with us. If you are watching over there on YouTube like Xander, make sure you throw your questions in the comments section. Lamb, Puka, and Hill start this week? Yes, I would. Xander Simmons, yes, I would. Trade away K9 and Gabe Davis for CeeDee Lamb. I'm okay with it. You might be giving up a little bit too much because K9 has value, but I'm okay with it overall. Some questions over here on TikTok. Who are players I should trade for Justin Jefferson? Just put them out there. The question is like, personally, I would almost ask for another injured player. I try to be a little crafty guy, and I'd go trade for Achan, and I'd see if they want to trade swap for swap and be like, hey, maybe your guy comes back sooner. You'd rather have Justin Jefferson, right? Like maybe trade him for like T. Higgins. Yeah, he may be out for a week, but by trading injured player for injured player, people might kind of give you the benefit of the doubt, but Higgins will be back a lot sooner than Jefferson. So that might be how I play it. That's one thought that would be on my mind. Toby, Nico, Breece Hall, Madison, Devontae Smith, pick 2. Guys, I do not like Breece Hall this week. Don't like Breece Hall. He's facing that Eagles defensive front. We saw last week Kyren Williams do nothing against it. So Breece Hall's out. Madison would be out as well. Look, I know Madison's actually might be a better play, funny enough, this week because the Bears. But I like Devontae Smith would be number 1. It might be Madison number 2, believe it or not. I don't like Nico Collins that much with the Houston Texans defense facing the Saints. So I kind of lean towards Madison and Smith. I can't believe I'm saying it, though. Appreciate all of you guys being with us every single day. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Should I trade Josh Allen and Montgomery for Lamar and Eckler? No, you shouldn't. Justin, what running back should I target trading away Puka? I don't know. Kenneth Walker III, Damian Pierce. Maybe those are too low for you. What could I get for Devontae Smith? I really don't like the open-ended questions, I will admit. The open-ended questions, it's like, guys, I will say this to you. I know a lot of you are new to the show, so here's my take on trades. You're playing against somebody. You're playing chess against the other 11, 13, 15, however many people are in your league. You're playing them. So you want to make moves based off of players that they have. So when you're like, who should I trade away for Puka? There are a lot of running backs that I would like to have for Puka, but that's not as relevant as who you're playing against. The other owners in your league. Who would want Puka? Who has a running back that you want? Who needs a wide receiver? There are so many other variables. So what I will encourage you guys to do, think of trades, and then you can come to us and we'll give you advice on to whether that's a good trade or not. But one thing is when you go, who's someone I should target? That's so irrelevant. That's like saying, what direction should I blast off into space in? It doesn't matter. It's space. It's irrelevant. It's more like, what am I trying to discover? Well, if you're trying to go to the moon, you got to go in that direction. The whole point is, if I'm trying to get Tony Pollard, is this enough? That's an example. Direction matters. By the way, forgive me. Rashad White for Trevor Lawrence. I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence. Mesmerize. I got offered Kelsey for Swift and Puka. I'd rather have Swift and Puka. Madison for Addison. I'd rather have Addison. What we think about Burrow, I think Burrow is showing you he is back. I think he's going to have a good week against the Seahawks. Nico, in a 12-man, rate it. Lamar, Kyren, Walker, Hill, AJB, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Really strong team. And you're staying healthy so far. So running backs might not look sexy, but they're getting a lot of production, a lot of carries. Ben Carno, Kyren and Moss for Eckler. I like that trade. I actually really like that trade. Moss or Pittman for this week. For this week, I would definitely prefer Pittman. I would go with Pittman. Coop, I'd go with Pittman this week. Pittman over Zach Moss. Thanks so much for the question. Appreciate you guys being with us. Over need RB1 trying to trade Kelsey and Pierce, looking for Eckler and Olave. I think you're not going to get both. I don't think that Kelsey's value is the same as what it was prior to the injury. So I think it's hard to pull that off. Thanks for the question. Wildert Arias. I just traded Olave, D-Hop, Madison for Ayuk and Pittman. I kind of like the trade. No, I like it. I like the deal. Ayuk or Amari Cooper for this week. I probably prefer. It's tough that like two of the top defenses in the NFL. I probably prefer Amari Cooper, believe it or not. Luke's trying to have some fun at my expense, I think. And can Puka or Keenan Allen? I'm kind of shaken on Keenan Allen due to the Cowboys defense. I agree. and Puka's matchup against the Cardinals is favorable. I might lean towards Puka myself and can. You're kind of acknowledging the same trap that I'm noticing. Junior, Kelce limited in practice today. On the short week, I actually think it's very similar to week 1, which was if it were on Sunday, I think he would play. But because it's on Thursday, I think Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, the coaching staff, the medical team, even Travis Kelce go, you know what? It's not worth risking the season. It's not worth doing long-term damage for a Thursday night game that we should win. Now, they lost to the Lions. They're not losing to the Broncos. Guys, I'll put this out here. This is going to be my Sharps play of the day. It is the most obvious bet right now in all of the NFL. It's Chiefs on the money line. Yes, I'm taking the layup, and I'm calling it a dunk. Chiefs on the money line is the safest play this week. Patrick Mahomes against his division. Patrick Mahomes against the Broncos. Patrick Mahomes at home against the Broncos. Bank it. Run with it. Take it every day you can. I'm taking Chiefs on the money line. And if I'm wrong on it, okay. I will allow myself to be, along with everyone else in the country, shocked. But I am taking Chiefs on the money line on this one. I don't care if Kelce plays or not. That is my Sharps play of the day. You can lock it in now. And obviously, it doesn't have great value. It's probably a minus 450, a minus 500. Use it in some parlays. One thing I actually did today on the last night is on the SHARPZ app. I parlayed. It's shown up on the SHARPZ app. Is I parlayed a Raiders win with a Chiefs win. I did with that with a lot of games, a lot of 2-3 leg parlays. Easy way for you guys to cash some tickets, make some money, and convert some negative bets into plus money bets. So, anyways, Chiefs on the money line, guys, is one we absolutely love. I'm putting that out there right now. So that's up there on the big board. Niners faithful trade JJ and Ayuk for Chase. If you can get that deal right now, do it. Do it right now. You're seeing Chase. He is in his element. I really like it. Make sure that if you guys want all of my bets every single day, DM me on the SHARPZ app. DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM me on Instagram. W! Welcome to the subscriber community. We are live every day and we do subscriber-only shows. W, thank you so much for subscribing. Our moderators make sure that if you subscribe, we pin your comment. That way I never miss it. So thank you so much for subscribing. Great to have you as a member of the community. Junior knows with that Debo Samuel love for W. Thanks so much, W. Great to have you as a part of this amazing community of sports fans that is live every single day. We are live every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern, every weekend at 10 a.m. Eastern. Drew, would you trade Puka and Kyren Williams for Austin Eckler? No, actually, I wouldn't. Kelce for Etienne and James Cook. No, I wouldn't do that either. Moss or the Cardinals backup running back. I'm going to lean slightly towards Zach Moss, believe it or not. Mason, do I trade Debo for McLaurin and Mostert? Yes, I would. Mason, yes, I would make that deal. Vikings or Bears, we'll see who's getting it. Should that running back for the Cardinals be your number one priority on the waiver wire? I'm going to take a quick look. I actually haven't looked at my running back waiver wire in my own league, so this will give me that opportunity. Oh, I'm not in the right one. I'll do it later. Should I trade Swift for Devontae Adams? Yeah, that's a fine trade. Giving up the running back I'm not crazy about, but especially since Jalen Hurts gets so many rushing touchdowns, it does eat into Swift's value a little bit, so I'd be okay with that upgrade at the wide receiver position. Addison or Collins at the flex. This week, it'd be Addison. Addison this week. User 37, I gotta go Brian Robinson. Breece Hall has terrible matchup this week against the Eagles. Should I trade Breece Hall for Josh Jacobs? It's an interesting idea. I probably wouldn't pull the trigger on it, but it's an interesting thought. It really is a matchup to matchup, week by week thing. So maybe what you want to do is look at the two players and kind of scope out over the next 5 weeks who's got the better matchups. Should I trade Pacheco and Hopkins for Chubb? Very funny. No, I think I'd hold on to the players who are healthy and not injured. Cowboys or Lions defense to start. I'd go with the Lions. I'd go with the Lions defense going up against the Bucks. Have Achan drop Williams for Jeff Wilson Jr. Best doggos actually brings up probably the player I like the most this week to pick up off the waiver wire. Jeff Wilson Jr., everybody. Jeff Wilson Jr. He is probably the one I'd pick up off the waiver wire. He has the greatest value. So that's where I would go with it. Just because, again, as he slots into that backup running back role, I think there's a good opportunity to have him. Appreciate all of you guys being with us every single day. If you have not done so already, make sure that you guys are hitting that follow button. Of course, we are live every day on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So make sure you hit that follow button. I'm trading Laporta and Jones for Kmet, Olave, and Thielen. I don't like that trade, W. I wouldn't do it. I'd rather have Laporta and Aaron Jones. I would not do that trade, W. Good thing you subscribe, because I would not do that trade. I'd avoid making that deal. Taylor or Moss. Rico Suave. I'd go Jonathan Taylor. Rico Suave, great to have you as a follower. Connor, Alex, Patrick Ewing. Great to have some of these celebrities like Patrick Ewing and Rico Suave now following us. What an honor. Raw, drop Hunt to pick up Curtis Samuel. Yeah, I kind of actually like that move. Z Rhodey, pick three. Mixon Jacobs, Bijan Robinson, and Kyron Williams. Okay. Mixon. I'm okay on Mixon. I actually really like Jacobs against the Patriots defense. Swiss cheese at this point, so I like that. I like Jacobs, I like Bijan, and I like Kyron Williams. Jacobs, Bijan, Kyron Williams. Those would be the three. Appreciate you guys being with us. Is JT a good start this week? He's better than last week, but I still think he's working his way into being a good start. Again, if you guys want all of my bets every single day, just DM me on Instagram. Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. DM me on Instagram. And I will share a referral code and link so you guys can get every bet that I make every single day. You can follow, you can fade. Obviously, you can also comment. SHARPZ is a social media app, so you can see all the bets that I make, but it's a place where sports bettors can interact, give each other shit. I love interacting with the community there. So if you guys want all of my bets every single day, just DM me on Instagram, and you guys can hit me up there. We obviously can talk a lot after the show. Would you trade away Kyron and Tua for Mixon and Lamar? No, I'd rather have Kyron and Tua. Sonny, I'd rather have Kyron and Tua. Thanks so much for the question. Appreciate you guys being with us every day. Frigid. James Cook for Waddle. I'd rather have Waddle. I'd rather have DJ Moore over Jefferson as well. Wilson, startable this week. The Dolphins, yes, only because they've got a good matchup for the running game against the Panthers. Panthers are really bad against the run, so yes, but in like the flex. Maybe RB2 if you're absolutely desperate. Nico, Olave, or DK this week, I'll probably lean just slightly towards DK over Olave, but it's close. Krispy Kreme, start 2. I would start Kenneth Walker III, and I would start Kyron Williams. Mostert's close, though. Man, I got to take it back. Krispy Kreme, I'd go Mostert and Mostert and K9. It's very close. Krispy Kreme, you've got 3 guys I really like. Jacobs is the one I'm not as crazy about. Best doggos, drop Stroud for Burrow or no, because Chase isn't getting traded. Jamar Chase ain't getting traded. I'm telling you that right now. Jamar Chase ain't getting traded. No way. No freaking way. Jamar Chase ain't getting traded. I'm saying that now. So what I would say is I do like Joe Burrow a lot. I think he's got value. CJ Stroud has been playing incredibly well. I think he's going to have a rough week this week, so I do like Joe Burrow more this week. Lethal Jake, Herbert, Allen, Adams, Godwin, Eckler, Etienne, Andrews. Oh, very solid, very solid. Stafford or Herbert, I'd go Stafford this week. Dallas Ogburn, I'd go Stafford this week. Tommy, do you think Zach Moss will get less touches this weekend? Yes, I do. Loser, Achan or Kyron Williams. Achan's injured. Achan is out. Achan will not be playing. He might go on IR. Kyron Williams is the start. Get Bijan, send Flowers, Myers, Kyron. No, I think you're probably giving up a little bit too much. I wouldn't do it. Nick Dowling, I don't think I would do it. El Jefe, what we do about Jefferson owners, I would try and trade them if there's any opportunity. If you're not in a dynasty league, see if there's someone who's foolish enough to go take them in a trade. I'd rather have someone who's producing value rather than someone who's going to be on the IR. Josh Pippen. Yes, I would do that deal. Josh Pippen, I would do that deal. Drew Hazard. He gets Allen, I get Barkley and Ayuk. It's a fair deal. It's a fair trade. I don't know which side I'd rather have, if I'm being honest. Lethal Jake, great seeing that you guys are interacting over there on Twitch. Make sure all of you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure that you guys follow Butt Fumble Sports. We are live every single day on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. If you want to see our screen that we do all of our research on, you can see that on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. But on TikTok, we get to your questions really fast. So multiple ways to watch the show, different experiences. But Butt Fumble Sports is live every single day. Every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Every weekend at 10 a.m. Eastern. Unless there's a London game. And then we're even earlier. Do I like Garcia against Kramer? I'm not as crazy about it. There were other matchups that I saw that I liked more. Marcus Simeon, Corey Seager, Mitch Garver, Jonah Heim. Those were some of the hitters in the Texas lineup that really stood out to me as players to like. But Adolis Garcia has the kind of power that I don't want to discourage you because he's one swing away from hitting bombs. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Really quick, I'm just going to keep track of that baseball game. 5-0 Astros. 5-0 Astros. Actually, my favorite bet that I gave out today on the SHARPZ app was the Astros plus 1.5. Christian Javier is 9-0 against the spread. The last 9 times the Astros have been an underdog. So it was a great bet. If you want more bets just like that every single day, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Just like Jacob Howman. Jacob, I just sent you the referral code in the link. So if you guys want all of my bets every day for free, I give them away for free. They're visible. Every bet that I make, the ones I miss. For example, I took a bath on my bets yesterday on the under, but I did cash on the Packers plus 4.5 and the Raiders on the money line. We also cashed on both quarterbacks throwing an interception, Max Crosby getting a sack. Josh McDaniels killed me though. I had Josh Jacobs over 69.5 rushing yards and over 72.5 rushing yards. He ended with 69 because they didn't go for it and instead they kicked the field goal. So if you guys want all of my bets, I'm not saying they always hit, but I give out my bets every single day. I do about anywhere from 50 to 70, 80 bets a day. So if you want to see every bet that I make across every sport, DM me on Instagram and I'll give you that referral code and link. W, I'm trading Laporta and Aaron Jones for... Oh, we answered this one. I wouldn't do the deal. W, I wouldn't do the trade. I'd rather have Laporta and Jones. I'd rather have Laporta and Jones. Thanks so much for the question, W, and thanks for subscribing. We will do subscriber-only shows throughout this week, so if you guys subscribe on TikTok, you will get exclusive and personal access, so we will answer your questions in subscriber-only shows, so make sure you guys subscribe today over on TikTok. Cole K, do I start Eckler? Yes, I would start Eckler this week. Yep, I do think he's going to be healthy, and I do think he's going to play. Trading Mahomes, Puka for Bijan, Allen, Metcalf, and Olave. Oh, man, what a steal job. Snagged. What a great trade. That is an amazing trade. Well done. Well done. RPA Central. I grew up in New England, but I've worked at ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS Sports. I've been a producer for Jim Rome. So I've just worked in sports media, sports content, producing fantasy football, fantasy sports, and sports betting shows. So I'm really just a sports fan at this point that loves looking at data, trends, and trying to get the most out of analytics to help you guys out every day. We added another subscriber who's going to be able to join us in our subscriber-only shows throughout the week. Ramses, thank you so much for becoming a member of this community. Butt Fumbler Official. Brecken, that's right, new subscriber. Great to see it. Welcome to this amazing community. And we will have subscriber-only shows again throughout the week. So again, during those shows, we really focus on your team, your personal questions. That way you get your lineup set with all the attention you need. Junior's on it. Junior's crushing it today. Love seeing it, Junior. Cooper Kupp or Nico Collins this week. Amari Cooper, rather. I probably lean towards Amari Cooper just barely. Yo, what's good? A-Dog. I'm going to lean towards Nico on that one. It's very close, but I don't like Ayuk's matchup against the Browns. Luke L. I understand that Pittman's going to be getting his passes from Minshew, but I still like Minshew a lot, and I still think I like Pittman a lot. That said, Falcons, I got to check one thing really quick. Colts are a really bad pass defense, so I think the Colts are playing Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a bad pass defense. Jacksonville is a bottom 10 pass defense, but I got to check in the running game because you were also... Did we just add another subscriber? Did we add another one? A third one? Did I miss we added a third one? Where was I when this was happening? Who just joined as a subscriber? I was over here doing my research. Meanwhile, Connor just subscribed. Connor, welcome to the Butt Fumble Sports community. Great to have you with us, Connor. Again, Connor will do subscriber-only shows throughout the week, giving you the personal attention so every question you have gets answered in those, so you don't have to sift through the weight of questions throughout these live shows that we have for everybody. Those subscriber-only shows give you all the access you need. Connor, welcome to the Butt Fumble Sports community. We did have that one question, though, that I wanted to keep track of. Bijan Robinson against the Commanders. Just want to see where the Commanders are in terms of a run defense. I'd go Bijan. I'd go Bijan over Pittman. Bijan over Pittman. It's very close. I really like both of them. Both have favorable matchups, but really good question. Just starting to do our research for Week 6. That's a really good one. Brecken, Wilson, Evans, Davis, and London, full PPR, start 3. If it's Garrett Wilson, that's a sneaky, interesting play. Not as high on it as I want to be because I don't trust Zach Wilson against that Eagles defense, though. So if it's Garrett Wilson, I'd probably sit him. I would start London. I would start Davis. And I would start Evans. That's where I think I come out on this one. Evans for sure, but Davis and London are probably the best ones. Thanks so much for the question, Brecken. Gorko, Pacheco. Bench one? Wow, interesting. If I'm benching one, I would bench Etienne. I'd bench Etienne and I'd start Pacheco and Walker. Gorko, I'd start Pacheco and Walker. Thanks so much for the question. Appreciate having you guys with us every day. Isaac Torres, Smith for Swift and Depot or Kirk. Isaac, I like it, and I don't care which one, Debo or Kirk. I like both of them. Both are good moves. Sir 31, Waddle and Robinson. I can get those two. Make that deal, man. Sir 31, I love the trade. Appreciate you guys being with us every single day. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. Make sure you guys subscribe across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Wonderful to have everybody with us every single day. Captain Nick, I wouldn't start Moss this week. I don't think so. Ramses, so great to have you as a subscriber. Thank you for saying you love the content. I love having you guys watch every day. I'm flattered that you love the conversation and the content. Would you trade Ramondre for Gibbs? At this point, I mean, here's the only issue. Gibbs is going to be an RB2, and even when he's been in there as an RB1, we're not seeing as much from him. I still think Ramondre Stevenson has some value, but the reason I actually would do the deal is because the offensive line of the Patriots has been garbage. The offensive line of the Lions remains one of the best. So yes, I would do the deal, but I'm not crazy about it because here's why. Ramondre Stevenson, he's probably going to get more carries. So you're giving up volume for a better offensive line. I don't know if I'd do it. It's close. Goddard or Thomas? I'd go Logan Thomas. My K picks lock just need one hit run RBI to lock. My K picks lock just need one hit run RBI to lock 5 legs. I think Corey Seager. Corey Seager is one to be considered. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you guys subscribe every single day. We are live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch and Kick. So make sure you guys hit that follow button and make sure you guys subscribe today. It is wonderful to have you guys with us every single day on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, answering your questions. So if you haven't done so, be like Jerry and hit that follow button today. It is wonderful to have all of you guys as a part of this community. Rob, Kyron or Olave? I probably lean slightly towards Kyron. I'd lean slightly towards Kyron right now. Austin Green, if I was benching one, I'd probably bench Breece Hall. Austin Green, I would bench Breece Hall. Sully, 105. Sully, 105. I would rather have... Oof. Man, that's a great question, Sully, 105. I think I'd rather have Kupp and Stevenson, but it's close. Sully, 105. That's a very fair trade. One wide receiver that we really like and one running back that's really disappointing. So Sully 105, it's a great trade, but I think it's fair. I'd rather have the Cooper Kupp side. Dylan, Puka, or CD rest of season. I still think I'd rather have CD Lamb, the wide receiver one. I think the value's there. Liam Jansen, start one. I would probably start Waddle. Waddle would, let me take that back actually. Because I don't like Ayuk. I don't like D-Hop, so it's between Wilson and Waddle, and I think I'd rather have Waddle. It's very close, though. Andrew, thanks so much for the first gift. Really appreciate it. Start two, Diggs, Adams, St. Brown, or Higgins. Still not... Higgins has the best matchup, but I'm a little bit worried about the rib. Don't know if he's going to be back, so less favorable on him. I really like Devontae Adams this week. I think he has a bounce-back week, but it's probably Diggs. It's probably Diggs and Devontae Adams. Peyton, would you trade Kamara and Laporta for Eckler and Thomas? No, I'd rather have Kamara and Laporta. Kamara and Laporta, Peyton. Juanpa Salas. Wow. Juanpa Salas. Man, I'm butchering it. Olave or Wilson? I'll go Olave this week. I will go Olave. Wilson has a good matchup against the Eagles' pass defense that's been bad, but I think Zach Wilson might melt in the sun against the Eagles. Appreciate all of those that are with us. If you have not done so already, hit that follow button, everybody. Make sure you're following Butt Fumble Sports. Super C NBC Challengers. I do like Pacheco this week in the PPR. If you're making the deal, make sure you do it for this week so you get Pacheco this week. Toby, I would probably start Nico at the flex. Connor, is Osborne a good waiver wire pickup? Yes, he is. No, I think Osborne's a really good waiver wire pickup. I really like where you're thinking, Connor, because you're just understanding that Addison slots into that wide receiver one spot. It just means more opportunity for KJ Osborne. Love the thinking, Connor, and appreciate you joining this great community. Great to have you as a butt fumbler. Seth, Bijan for Mixon and Waddle. I understand what you're trying to do, trying to get over the loss of Jefferson, so if that's what you're going for, I get it. Seager, over 8.5 fantasy score. Yep, I think so. I think Seager has a massive game. He has good numbers against Dean Kramer in the past as well. Robert, I traded Jefferson for Jacobs and Gabe Davis. Good trade. Absolutely. Love it. Someone who has no value for two players that do. Nico Collins for Montgomery. Vikes, I love Montgomery. He's one of my favorite running backs week in, week out. So Vikes, I love the trade. Calvin Ridley or Thielen this week. I go Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is the great play this week. Really favorable matchup going up against the Indianapolis Colts. Calvin Ridley's going to end up being one of my favorite players of the week. You watch. He's just got everything going for him. I need depth. Should I trade Bijan? Seth just did. He traded Bijan for Mixon and Waddle. So that was an example of someone. I got offered this. Pacheco, Thielen, Lamb for Devontae Adams, Brian Robinson. I'm scared to do this. I'd rather have Pacheco and Lamb. And Thielen just brings additional value and depth. So I'd rather have Pacheco, Thielen, and Lamb. I wouldn't do the trade. I wouldn't do it. Jimmy G is going to get broken. He steps out of his house. He probably shatters to a million pieces. So I wouldn't do the trade. Alberto, trade Gibbs and Addison for Mixon and McLaurin. I'd rather have... I don't know if I do that deal. I'm not as high on that as you are. Swift, Montgomery, Walker, Henry, start two. I would start Montgomery and Walker. Montgomery and Walker this week. Luis Garcia, 0905, Montgomery and Walker. Liam, should I trade D-Hop and Sanders for ETN? Yes, I would. I probably would do that. Isaiah Bolin, should I try to trade for Justin Jefferson? No. Unless you're in a dynasty league, he doesn't have any real value moving forward. Miles, Montgomery for Pollard? Yeah, sure, you could do that deal. That's fair. Trade A.J. Brown for Montgomery and Lockett? Yes. Yes, I would do that. Nosebleed, if you're getting Thielen, Pacheco, and Lamb, I would do it. If you're getting those three, I usually mention, guys, the side of the trade I like, whether that's the players you have or the players you're getting. I'm letting you know which players I want on my roster. You should just let it be known that that's what I would want. Either don't do the trade, keep those players, or do the trade because I like those players. Brant C, 1, 2, 3. I love Eckler this week coming back. I do think he's going to have a decent game. So I would go... I'd go Eckler, Bijan. I'd go Eckler, Bijan, and Jacobs, I think. It's close, though. I think the Patriots defense could give up a lot of rushing yards. Jerry L, pick one to sit. I'd sit Breece Hall. I would sit Breece Hall, Jerry L. Sit Breece Hall. Keep Lamar or trade for another quarterback. No, I'd keep Lamar. If his receivers made those catches, he would have had a great day. Is Jefferson done for the year? The answer is no, but from a fantasy standpoint, you can't trust on his value the rest of the year. So from a fantasy standpoint, he kind of is done for the year in some ways. That's why I would try and trade him, move on from him. If you guys want all of my bets every single day, every sports bet that I make, every player prop bet, game pick, total play, doesn't matter the sport, MLB, NFL, college football, DM me on Instagram right now. Our favorite pick of the day today was the Houston Astros to cover +1.5. We're cashing on that one. If you want to see that and every bet that we make every single day, DM me on Instagram. Butt Sports on Instagram. That's Butt Sports on Instagram. DM me, and that way you can get every pick that I make every single day. Just DM me, Butt Sports on Instagram, and that way you can follow every bet that I make. They're for free. They show up. I can't delete them. I can't hide them. You can see every bet that I make, and you can follow, you can fade, or you can just do what you want. But that way you know every bet that I make. You don't have to wait around. You can see them every single day. How do you get it? DM me on Instagram, folks. Just DM me, Butt Sports on Instagram. Yes, I really did create a company called Butt Sports. So you just hit me up, Butt Sports on Instagram, and I'll share a referral code and link, and that way you can get every bet that I make every single day. Got asked to trade for Wilson instead of Waddle, leaning no. I would lean no as well. Luis Garcia, DJ Moore, Swift, or Henry at the flex. I'd go DJ Moore. DJ Moore this week. Thanks so much for the question. Jacob Vines, what do I try to get for Justin Jefferson? I mentioned this earlier. I might try to pull the old switcheroo and ask for a player that's injured who might come back sooner, like a T. Higgins. That way it looks like I'm trading an injured player for an injured player, but I'm actually getting a guy who's closer to returning to the field than Justin Jefferson, who's just starting the rehab process. Connor, I have Ferguson and Henry as tight ends. Should I pick up Logan Thomas or Jonnu? If you were to pick up anyone, it'd be Thomas, but I don't know if you're getting someone who's that substantially more valuable than the other two. Maybe a little bit, but not by much. Christian Vasquez was offered Robinson for Hollywood Brown. Who wins? I'd rather have Brian Robinson. Krispy Kreme, Jacobs and Kirk for Breece Hall. No, wouldn't do it. Krispy Kreme, I wouldn't do the trade. Guys, it is wonderful being with you guys every single day across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. I hope you guys have been enjoying the show. We're going to wrap up a little bit early right now, but I will do a show later tonight. So if you have not done so already, hit that follow button, everybody. If you have not done so already, hit that follow button. Make sure that you're following on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Hit the follow button because I will be live later tonight. So if you want to ask more questions, you want to get more fantasy advice, you just want to listen to the sound of my voice as I'm talking through sports bets or rants or everything else, all you have to do is hit that follow button, everybody. Hit the follow button, and that way you never miss our show. We're live every day, every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern, every weekend at 10 a.m. Eastern. But I will do another show later tonight, so make sure you guys hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you never miss our show every single day. Again, if you want all of my bets, if you want every bet that I make every day on my own, just DM me on Instagram, ButtFumbleSports on Instagram, and I will share a referral code and link, and that way you can get every pick that I make every single day. As always, it is so much fun talking sports with you guys. I hope you guys know how much I appreciate you, the support you guys show me. I am so grateful that you guys watch my show, watch our content. If you guys ever want to give us feedback, we'd love to hear it. Feedback@buttfumblesports.com is a way you guys can reach out. That's feedback@buttfumblesports.com. Would love hearing from you guys. You guys are the absolute best. I am so grateful to every single one of you for making time out of your day to watch our content. Hopefully we give you good advice, good information. Hopefully we entertain you throughout your day. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Hope you stay healthy. Hope you stay safe. I will see you guys later tonight. I will be on later tonight. So make sure you hit the follow button right now, and that way you can catch our show later tonight. Have a great night, everybody. Go cash some tickets and get ready on that waiver wire to get yourself ready for NFL Week 6. I'll see you guys later tonight. Goodbye, everybody.